What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to Modality Monday. I have the great pleasure and honor in interviewing and sitting with my good friend, my brother right here, Anthony, aka Planthony. How you doing?
I'm very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
You guys know how we're gonna get started. We're gonna drink and hydrate our organs, our body, our skin, because it's very important to stay hydrated, especially with the right water.
That's
so,
right. Cheers.
Salud. Cheers to your love, your health, and your wealth. That's great stuff right there.
Good stuff.
So where's your water from right now?
So right now, I'm getting it at the Water Brewery in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a place I'm working at. We're doing restructured, alkaline, mineralized, oxygenated,
Nice.
energized water.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you guys can't tap in and don't want to get Congo water, go see my bro over at the Water Brewery. They're doing some really amazing things over there, and you're really well versed in the water game.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe you want to drop. I don't know if you know like the knowledge behind like why oxygenated water is so important.
Yeah. Just for our cells in general, just to feed us, energize us. The restructuring is very important for our bodies to be able to utilize water as well.
We are 80% water, and no disease, including cancer, can live in an alkaline environment. And an alkaline environment is an oxygen-rich environment. So what the Water Brewery is doing, giving you oxygenated water for, like you said, your cells and your overall health. So, my brother, the nickname Planthony. I've gone on some really amazing nature hikes with Ant. And whenever we do these group hikes, he's just very well versed and very well educated in the land and what he does. Like, we'll be hiking and I'll see a plant. Like right now, we came out to hike and there's some berries. I'm like, what berries are those? And he's like, those are the berries, the toyons.
Yeah, we got the toyons.
The toyon berries. Just a super knowledgeable man. And if you guys want to tap into like a nature hike, we'll share all that later. But
yeah, we'll share on that later.
What got you into the the knowledge of like plantology and just certain remedies that I know that you're into?
Yeah, so starting off, it's I saw a lot of sickness in my family growing up. Being a little kid, don't really know how you can help, and it didn't really it wasn't something I was actually out pursuing.
Right.
It actually like came to me. Just started working at Mother's Market and seeing the vitamins, the supplements, the different lifestyles people were living with, the water, the yoga, and all of that. I just started becoming more curious and finding that herbs were a great way for people to boost up their health.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, going back to nature, right?
Yeah, going back to nature.
So people at the store, maybe at the store, like Mother's Market and stuff, were they like coming in and then like as they were getting vitamins and minerals, they were like kind of telling you why they were getting them and what benefits they were having for your body?
Yes.
For their body?
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then also a coworker of mine, Devery, she was a herbalist. She's studying to be a herbalist, and I'm like, what's that? Like, what's an herbalist? And from there, I got even more curious and seeing like where this path could lead, and like studying the different organ systems and how the plants like interrelate with just how our body works. And it was just very fascinating. I just dove right in.
That's so amazing. Yeah. That's so amazing. I think it goes back to like we have everything we need. Like we are of nature, and anything that we need to like heal our bodies or help anything that we have going on is here for us. So for you to do the work to figure out how to help people in that sense, in that fashion is truly amazing.
Yeah.
What's the coolest thing you've been able to see kind of like with your craft and what you do? Have you been able to like help any like people with like their like illnesses or anything like that?
Oh yeah. Just from like word of mouth, people kind of find me out and we just have a conversation. We sit down, talk, see like kind of what's going on with like the body or like even the mind, because the herbs can work on subtle energies like that. So yeah, helping people with just like bladder issues, like lung issues, just all sorts of things. So it's interesting to work with people, like really get to know them one-on-one,
right?
And then like from there you can kind of see them like how they are, and then suggest different like lifestyle adjustments, like whether it's a diet or the water or some sort of movement. And then from there we move into like the herbs,
right?
Whether let's say your body's primarily dry, like a dry body, you prescribe like moistening herbs like marshmallow, slippery elm, or a couple normal ones that I would suggest for somebody.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I know a little while back we had like a friend's hike, a Thanksgiving hike, and to harvest, we went and harvested all the food that we were gonna eat. Like we were getting like acorns for like acorn cheese. I remember the what was the buckwheat that we got to
the buckwheat.
So also as far as like the remedies and stuff, you also do like harvesting and like cook, right? The food that you harvest.
Yeah, so that's another exciting subject, because like our food is our medicine. That's like, that goes back ancient times. And like for myself, I found it very empowering to learn about the medicinal plants, but also the edible plants. And a lot of the times they overlap, which is like amazing.
Right.
And so I enjoy going out with friends and picking the plants, getting the acorns, and like we go with our buddy Marv, get the acorns, the prickly pears, juice them up, like make some tamales. You know?
Right. Getting the acorns is the easy part. Getting the acorn meat is a whole different ballgame. We're out there with like rocks trying to crack open the acorns and stuff like that.
You gotta like soak them for a while, get the bitter tannins out, and then, but like at the end of it, you get like this super nutrient dense, like really hearty, healthful food, and it's like nothing you can get at the store.
Right. I think it goes back to what you just said too, like how the remedy of the plants and the minerals and the herbs that we're harvesting are basically like, you know, it goes hand in hand with eating it, right? So like your food is medicine. You know, you can either have a bad diet and be sick, or you can eat from the earth, eat from nature, and that's the resonance that you need to be in, to me at least, to have like vitality and be healthy with your body. So to be able to be knowledgeable of what you should be consuming for your body, and you know, just that lifestyle, that conscious lifestyle, I think is so crucial, so important. Every time I see you, every time I talk to you, like you're out in nature, so like you're really about this life. You know, so maybe for people that like are kind of curious, like how do you like learn about like just going out and like knowing that like, hey, that's the goji berry, that's this, that's there, like you're out all the time in nature studying these things, right? Like you're a master of your craft, right?
Yes. So for me, growing up, never really went out in nature. I'd go like skate or something like that. It was more like nature was like the background and the city was the foreground. And then like my girlfriend and her family at the time, they would like bring me out on hikes, and like, oh, you should come like check out this spot or whatever. I was like, oh, this is cool, like interesting. And I moved to New Mexico for a couple of years, and there I had a lot of time to hike and explore. And I had a little field guide by Michael Moore. Not
Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah, not that guy. No, he's the herbalist. He's like the Southwest like herbalist guy. And so I'd go out with the book and my little camera and just take photos of the plants, like cross-reference them, and just like come back, pick them at the right times, and just, you know, experiment. I pretty much like taught myself in that regard.
That's amazing.
There was like a few people who would be like, oh yeah, there's this plant or that, but for the most part I would take it upon myself to learn what I wanted to learn.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Really
like being about what you practicing what you preach, you know, and being a living example of what you embody and what you're putting out into the world. That's awesome. I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
So like with what we're talking about right now, I guess the term that I guess most people would use is, this sounds like a very conscious lifestyle, like being very aware of who you are, your gifts, and how you bring them to the world. Were you always like this? Did it go hand in hand with like sick family members and trying to help them? Like, how did you kind of embody like, hey, this is what I'm doing, instead of like, you know, the video games and getting caught up with partying and things like that, which is kind of like maybe not as aware and as conscious of of maybe a life that may be more beneficial. Like what was your journey with that?
So again, with the girlfriend and the family at the time, that we were just hiking, going out like camping and stuff, and then something that really changed was like gardening as well, like getting your hands like in the earth and like working with it, seeing what's going on, and tending to a garden. You can can see like everything out here. It's like it grows in this landscape. We're starting to get a drizzle, and these plants are adapted to like their environment. And so going back to like the garden thing is like just seeing that process and like being a part of it. And yeah, it was just like amazing to like see that. And it was very like reflective, a lot of self-reflective time of just seeing like what I do in the garden is also like happening to me. And I see that more in like the lab now with the different preparations that I'm doing. Different things that I do to the herb is like I feel it's stirring something in me, and it's like oh, what I do out there like happens to me.
That's trippy.
And it's like, yeah, it's really trippy.
It's very trippy.
Yeah, it's very trippy. And then like yeah, from there with like the garden and everything, spending more time like camping, being like in nature, away from like the cities, like really like tapping into like, well, how do I feel, like who am I, that. And then also like different like plant medicines, specifically like the psilocybin. I've had like a couple experiences like in nature where it was just like wow, there's like so much going on that like I was not aware of or was like happening. It's like oh, I need to pay attention more.
Need to be more aware, need to pay attention more and more conscious. That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Psilocybin, I'm sure being in nature with psilocybin, because I look at psilocybin mushrooms as a medicine, and when you consume it, it kind of puts you in a state of complete awareness. Almost kind of bridges, it takes that that barrier away from the conscious and the unconscious. And especially being in nature, like it's almost, from I guess my experiences, it's like the world, and like especially being in nature, it's almost like it's like breathing, and you can actually see it breathing, like pulsating, and kind of having that understanding of like wow, there's a lot more to this thing and more to this life than maybe what we're programmed to believe, you know. So
big time.
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely the veil gets very thin,
right?
And you're like, whoa, I'm a part of it, and it's alive too. Like I'm alive, it's alive, we're all alive.
Right.
It's just like trips you out.
That's dope. That's dope.
But then you also find like you're one and the same, and just like it's all relatives, you know.
Like we are nature.
Yeah.
And I was kind of tripping out when you were talking about being in the lab and being out, and you're like, it's almost like a reflection, because you are that, and the universe is always going to talk to you. And the most powerful way for me that the universe can talk to you is like nature and like synchronicities, like even being out. And I believe in like symbolism, right? So like different animals or different aspects of life, like at certain times in your life, maybe when you need a message, like sometimes you don't even know you need a message, but like, or if like you need a message without knowing, like you'll see something like a hummingbird or something will like land on your shoulder, and like that's nature letting you know like, hey, like harmony and peace, like just keep doing the work, like keep doing the meditation, keep connecting more. And like you're able, to me, if you really do the work, you're able to create, I mean, even if you don't do the work, you're able to create any life that you want. Because if you don't do the work, you're probably going to create a life that like you don't really want, but you're creating that. But if you do the work, like tapping in with nature, the vibration that you are at, the meditation, the yoga, really studying your craft and doing what you want, like we're here for abundance. This whole world is ours, you know. And when you understand that and see it, you're able to step into that power more. And sharing that, because like what you said with the reflection is nature, like being able to see it more and have that understanding allows you to kind of put the energy out to receive more of that understanding and knowledge. So so that's why I was like trippy when you were talking about the reflection and kind of like being able to see that as yourself, because at the end of the day, like we are nature, like that is you. So
big time.
very cool.
Very
cool. So with all that being said, anybody that like feels called to like tap in with Ant and join one of his nature's hike just to learn more and be more knowledgeable about your surroundings, I think it's very important, even how you said like when you're out with your girlfriend and your family, like being in the gardens, being in nature, like it puts you in that energy, like wow, this is like natural, this feels natural, it feels healthy. Getting your hands in the soil and connecting with nature is very beautiful.
Very grounding.
Very grounding. Right.
In a literal sense too.
Right. Is there any messages or anything that you'd like to share with people that are watching right now?
I just have a deep appreciation for everyone who's shown up in my life to like show the way. Yes, I've taught myself a lot, but it's like people like Benjamin bringing me on to like interview, and then like big Marvin bringing me in to like do plant hikes. You know,
Yogi
Marv,
Chef,
Yogi Chef,
the brother.
and then like Salvador. We're about to drop in on a hike with him with Temple of Eden,
Cosmic Ocular.
yeah, Cosmic Ocular, just like, and like Juan Pablo.
The
Yeah,
bro.
Juan Pablo,
Oh man.
dude.
Hey,
Yeah.
Juan, I gotta get you on a Modality Monday, bro.
Yeah, dude, we gotta get him. So it's just like, yeah, all these guys, like everybody, just I can't name everyone, but it's like
the fam,
yeah,
the soul
the fam,
tribe, the soul tribe.
The people have shown up and like have like brought me up. It's like big respect. Yeah, that's mainly what I want to share, because it's not necessarily like about me alone. It's about all of us and like connecting back to the land, because I see it in like the cities, and it's like that's where I came from. I came from like a disconnected reality, so it's like we're plugging back into like the natural matrix in a sense.
Right, gotta disconnect to connect.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because that was just download right there, how you said like we grew up disconnected, and for you to be able to connect, I feel like that disconnection and then what you get connected, it makes it even more powerful, because that's what you want. Like you just only want that, and it's like I know what the other side was like. I don't want that anymore. So let me figure this out and keep stepping into that power.
Exactly.
So very beautiful, brother. Thank you for sharing. As you can hear, and Planthony over here, my brother, is living his dreams. And like I always say, it's one thing to have your dreams, it's another thing to live your dreams, and just doing the work. And just appreciate you sharing your time, your wisdom. And if anyone wants to reach out, I'll leave his information in the description, in the comment below. And come out and join for a hike. Again, Ant's super knowledgeable. You'll learn some amazing things about nature and yourself. So hope everyone has a great start to the day, great start to the week, wherever you're at. Remember to stay hydrated.
Yes, sir.
And let's continue to live our dreams.
Salud.
Cheers. Salud. Peace.
Later.